side, please stop indoors and play some poker online. This week, live at 5, we're joined by the guy that's made more final tables of a GUKPT than anybody else. We've spoke to him at an hour with the tower. Here he is. It's Mr. Jeff Kimber.
Hello, Phil.
Oh, I miss you, Jeff.
Oh, I miss you too. I wish we could have a beer.
We need some cuddles, and we need some. we miss everything. We've missed all kinds of things. Obviously, with the Goliath has just been and gone. What would have been live, we've missed Leeds us on its way, which would have been, and we're still no closer. But that's the guy I miss. There he is.
I can't compete with your son,
and he's even laughing as well. I don't know why he's laughing, but we do miss the J-Meister. Lockdown's gone on for a long time. Jeff, are you still holding your own? Are you still head above water?
You're still holding your own? Yeah, all good. I'm loving the online poker. There's loads of online poker to play, so I'm playing lots of that. A bit of live sneaking back, but still don't really know, do we? When we get some GUKPTs and we missed the Goliath. That was a real. Seeing all those Facebook photos, actually, the Facebook memories, all the different tournaments that we usually play at Goliath. Yeah. But the online Goliath went well, and online tournaments are still good, and online cash games are still running. So it's a lot better than it could be, and you've just got to be positive, haven't you?
Yeah, and the numbers have been really good, which we'll come to because we'll run through the last week's deep stack and also the 25-25s that were online. We'll start with the deep stack. The numbers in the deep stacks have been pretty impressive, Jeff, nearly all the way through the lockdown.
They're really good. I actually think the structure of the 25-25 is better, but I think the price point just appeals more. I think 130 quid. There's so many runners every. I mean, it might be the Saturday as well. Maybe people get away with playing more poker then. But numbers in the deep stack are so good, and it's every week somebody's investing 130 quid and walking away with $5,000 and more. So it's lovely.
Yeah. Just quick hello to everybody who's watching live in the chat box. We just saw the question there from Ben Linney. Evening, lads. Cash being back. When are we likely to see MTTs making a return? It is good to see the cash back, Jeff, and obviously everybody should be looking at this.
Yes.
How good is that app for a cash player?
Yeah, that's the thing. I mean, all the cash info's on there, and all you can join your waiting list before you head off, which is even more important at the moment, isn't it? To know you've got a seat rather than hanging around. But people keep asking me, sending me messages, when a tournament's coming back. If we knew, it would be out there straight away. Remember, Grosvenor's a company that makes its money out of people playing poker. So as soon as it's safe for people to play more poker, they'll be putting it on. I think it's quite good the way they've done it. They've rolled it out gradually. They haven't just done everything at once as soon as they're allowed to. And the cash games have come back gradually this week. I see Stockton's opening up tonight, I think it was. A few more opened up yesterday, and the poker room in London, the Vic, opened a couple of days before. As soon as it's safe, we'll be playing some tournaments. I can't wait.
And that's what a table looks like. If I'm just saying, get yourself around there, Jeff. These tables look quality, by the way, don't they? The maximum 7-handed, the screens in between every player. Just get in your club if you want any questions regarding safety. Get into your own club. But these tables are as good as what anybody could have expected.
Yeah, I mean, what more could you ask for, really? If you still don't feel safe, then of course don't go and play live poker. But they've taken everything into consideration there, and it looks really good. If you want to go and play some live cash, go play some. I haven't heard anybody come back moaning about it. There's questions here, there, and everywhere, but everything's on the Grosvenor social pages if you need to know anything. And as I say, I'll be popping into play some, but I'm loving the online stuff at the moment too. So it's the online stuff is very big because nobody can play live.
Well, if we quickly run to last week's, the deep stack, 194 entries. We got Mongoose winning, and the thing is, I was just looking at the deep stack, and Chef Brad, Rick Trigg, and Paul Siddle
Uh-huh.
were like the first 3 of 4 eliminated in the deep stack. What happened?
Sounds like they were gambling.
What on earth would have happened? Because Chef Brad's been on a bit of form.
Yep.
Is in the I think he's in the top 10 of the National League. Obviously, Rick Trigg, and Paul Siddle's won a GKPT main event.
Yeah, no, I know Trigg and Paul Siddle are both excellent, poker players and have been for years. And Brad is working really hard at his game. I love Brad. He's so enthusiastic about the game, and he's getting some results. He's working hard, but you can all go out early doors in a tournament. It could well be that they were taking the gamble, trying to get a stack, and hoping to, or not hoping to, but happy to re-enter. So I don't know, but Paul and Trigg especially have got a list of results as long as you're on. I saw Paul comment when the Vic said it was reopening. Hallelujah, because Paul is just an absolute fixture in the PLO games at the Vic. So he's been getting by with online poker, but I'm sure he's desperate to get down and play some live.
But he's had a few good results as well, hasn't he, Paul Siddle? Where he got himself a trophy.
He did really well. Yeah, I've sat at his table a few times over this lockdown, and it's just hard to play against. Just aggression all the time. You can see why he's successful.
Yeah. Well, Andy Hill's final table, the deep stack.
He did. He was unlucky, actually. I watched a bit of that. So he was chip leader with 6 left. He ran a bluff, which made a bit of sense, but the guy made a good call. And then 2 hands later, I think it was, he raised and the same guy 3-bet, and Andy had ace king. So he piled a lot in, and the guy had queens, and he lost the flip. So all of a sudden, from being chip leader, he was out. A little bit unlucky, though.
Yeah. Moira Davis just posted.
Hi, Moira.
Remember Moira from Leeds, GUKPT, a couple of years ago?
She was one of our Daves, remember? She was one of the people that Moira Davis, so we trained her as one of the Daves, and she's been playing poker for years, and we made some little adjustments to the way she played and the way she played some hands, and she's one of those players who's had lots of success since, and she really listened to us and really, wanted to ask us questions. Why does this keep happening to me? What should I do differently? And she employed them a bit, and then she's had a nice bit of success, and always comes and says hello to us and thanks us for helping training.
Yeah, good to have you on board, Moira. And as soon as we get live playing tournaments, I'm sure you will be there. Last week's 25-25 with the 25,000 guarantee. A nice prize pool of 34,000. There was somebody called Jeff Kimber on the final table.
Yeah, it was a funny one, actually. Everyone was fairly level in chips apart from one guy. 8 left. I had ace queen. I shoved ace queen for 13 bigs, which maybe is a little bit big. Yeah. The big stack was in the big blinds. The guy one to my left instantly reshoved, and then the big stack called both the all in. So I knew I was in trouble. They had jacks and kings, and it came 3 bricks and then an ace on the turn. So I had ace queen. My ace is ahead now. Got to avoid two kings and 2 jacks, and I go second in chips and big second in chips. And the river was a king, so chip leader took the lot and knocked us both out, which was a bit of a sad ending, but it was I love the structure of that tournament. I think it's brilliant.
Yeah. As we just saw on the screen there that the result was put up. Do you know Ali Malou is online?
I do, yeah, only because I've
Are we allowed to give his name out?
Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm no expert in GDPR. I know that nobody will tell us officially any names, which in the olden days we used to find them out. But I know it's not Ali Malou, and I know who it is, but I don't know the guy particularly. Yeah, there's a few of them on there. There's a few good players in that final table, actually.
Mm-hmm. Jamie Nixon, Jam Nix got yourself third.
Jamie was in there, yeah. Jamie's up there, but there's what I mean is there's a couple that you won't know their aliases, but I do, and some decent names in there and good players. So it was a good quality final.
Yeah. No, it was good numbers and a very good final. Like you said, there were some good names on. I do know who Mick Fletcher is, so that's one of them that I do know, and obviously Linus McLovin as well. He was in the deep stack.
Because they made the mistake of winning stuff. That's why, isn't it? So when you win big tournaments, you kind of, if you want to keep your anonymity, you can't brag about it, and both of them let their anonymity go, haven't they?
Coming up this week is the deep stack and the 25-25 on Saturday and Sunday as normal. But next weekend, the 28th, we've got the Summer Sizzler online.
Yeah. And I tell you what, this is one of those things that is going to be better because it's online, in my opinion. thing is, I often play this one up north, where I'm now in Newcastle, but I live in London, so I've played the London one, and I've played the northeast one. The northeast one quite often doesn't get that big because there's not as many runners, whereas the online one has got some great guarantees on there, so everybody's all playing together. So I'm loving the look of this schedule. It's like the Goliath again, you know, they're medium to low buy-ins, but there's some nice money to be won in each one.
Yeah. So nice. I'm just looking there. I know we're just seeing the 60,000 guaranteed for the series. The mini, the midi, and the main, and then there's a summer sizzler 10,000 for a £30 buy-in. I'm guessing you're going to be playing them all.
Yeah. So it started a week tonight. It starts with a 55 quid comp with 12 grand guaranteed. That's the mini. And then on the Saturday there's the 88 quid comp, which is the midi. That's 15 grand guaranteed. And then the big one is on the 30th. That's 110 quid. That's the Summer Sizzler, and 25k guaranteed. I mean, some lovely prizes to be won. As I said, you know, with the Goliath main event, you know, the winner of that, what was his name? Gerard, I think it was.
Gerard, Jez,
yeah. He, you know, 125 quid. He turned into 42 grand. It's like this is kind of dream money, and you're playing against, you know, the same players that you're used to playing against. You're playing against an all British field of players that you kind of know, and for 100 quid, you know, I'll definitely be playing. I'll try and play every event, to be honest, but obviously I'll play the main event and the 2 days as well.
Yeah, obviously the Summer Sizzler in different parts of the country is busier. Obviously the northwest is always busy. London's very busy, but being online, it should be a cracker.
Well, you just think, you know, I'm lucky I live in London. I can go and play one of the biggest ones, and same with you in the northwest. But you know, if you live down in Plymouth, or if you live up in Newcastle or Carlisle, and you know, perhaps yours are miles away to get to, or the day two is going to be miles away from you, or it just doesn't get that big. So the online one is perfect for those players, and you know, for those of us who would normally play it live, well, it's a good replacement for it, isn't it? And 25k guarantee, so you're probably going to be winning what? 8 grand, 9 grand first prize or something. Yeah, they'll probably beat the guarantee too. So you could be up over 10 grand, I'd imagine, for first prize in the main event. It's a lovely return for 100 quid.
Yeah, well, it's the deep stack this weekend. It's also the 25-25, and that's Summer Sizzler. The series starts next week, as Jeff says. We're missing the GUKPTs, Jeff.
Yeah.
You do play them all. You do travel, and you have hit more final tables than anybody else. I know PK's got a little bit of a competition running on his on the social media, on the Facebook. Some cracking players on there.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a couple we don't see.
Well, that's it. I mean, you know, I didn't know this post was going up any more than anyone else did. But when I saw it, I mean, it's a hard job getting it down to 5 people. And I saw straight away some comments. So Andrew Teng commented, "How can Praz Bansi not be on there?" And I do kind of agree. Praz is unbelievable player, won 2 GUKPTs. But then, you know, Julian Hughes on there because he won 3 GUKPTs. Neither of them really play anymore, and on currently, you know, wouldn't be playing a GUKPT if it was on next week. You know, there's Sam Trickett won a GUKPT. This is how he learned to play poker. You know, me and Sam had an absolute battle on the leaderboard, as it was in those days, where I think Mark Goodwin won it and was miles ahead, but me and Sam were second and third, and I think it was about 15 grand in prize money for second, maybe 10 grand for third, and me and Sam played all the way down to the final Sunday of the final event. I beat him into third. But you know, when people ask who is the best player on the GUKPT, it depends how you want to grade it, doesn't it? Like, you know, I've sat beside Adrian Mateus twice in these tournaments, and I don't know how many he's played, but twice I've drawn the seat to his left, but still an absolute pain. Adrian Mateus is an absolute beast. He might be the best no limit hold'em.
Yeah, I'm sure there's plenty of people watching out there can be streaming names from the GU. Instantly comes to my mind Priyan Demel.
Yeah, Priyan, back-to-back winner.
Back-to-back GUKPTs and very close in a grand final.
Yeah.
Andy Booth, final tabled 5 GUKPTs. You know, all kinds of names crop up. But obviously, with it not being live, the leaderboard is still running. Bouncy is still top of the leaderboard. He does so well live, but yet he still does well online as well, and nobody's overtaken him at all, Jeff.
He's amazing. I spoke to him this week actually. He's just amazing. He says, don't forget the best player is Andy Booth on the right. Bowsy, he works ridiculous hours, as well. It's not like he's a full-time player. He runs his own business, so he chooses what. But he works like 14-hour days and then plays poker. There was one a couple of weeks ago where it was like 1 a.m. It was either 25-25 or a deep stack, and he was blinding off, and there was like 8 players left. It was like 1:30 a.m, and I've just opened the table to see how. I first of all looked at it, see if I knew anyone. Saw John was on the final, so I opened it, and he was blinding off, and I rang him, and I Facebook messaged him, and I rang him again, and I thought, blimey, he might have something bad might have happened here. He might have had a car crash or something. And as it was, he rang me in the morning. He just fell asleep. He must have been chip leader when he fell asleep, and he just got blinded all the way down. I think he finished about 5th or 6th, but he works ridiculous hours and is still putting in the hours to try and keep up that leaderboard. Yeah. People sort of joke about it. John's always top, but he puts in the hours to play.
You look at the leaderboard. You've got Aresh Thacker, Andy Back, Guy Taylor, Jamie Nixon, who will be streaming the Summer Sizzler, I'm sure. Mark Dyson. There are some great names.
You look down that list and you think, I wouldn't want to sit on a table with this lot. All the way down, you go down into the 30s. There's loads of really good players on that list. Yeah. It's almost half the time you're kind of glad that you don't know who the players on your table are, because it could be a murderer's row behind you with all these good players around. Yeah, it's really good players there. And, the leaderboard's still there. There's still some great prizes to play for. So
yeah,
there's a lot of chances in there.
Yeah. Well, we are just about wrapping up live at 5. Thanks for joining us, Jeff.
Anytime, my pleasure.
I am sure you'll be playing the deep stack and the 25-25 this week.
I will, yeah. Got to do better than 8 this week.
Satellite into try and satellite into the Sizzler, because the satellites are running all the time.
Yeah, there's loads of satellites running for it, and it's. I meant to mention to you actually, the satellites they run all the time. There's a little bit of overlay sometimes. When I played the Goliath main event, I actually won 3 more main event seats while I was playing the Goliath. So I thought I'll play a satellite, so I've got another bullet in case I bust. Yeah. And I did, and I used it, and then I kept on playing. I played 3 more satellites, won 2 more seats, and which I still have now because I only had 1 re-entry. So I had, but there's so many satellites going on all the time. Just have a look down and win a seat for a $5. It's even more pleasurable when you're in for absolutely buttons like.
Well, make sure you play the deep stack and the 25-25 and the satellites for the Summer Sizzler. But live poker is back. The cash games are on the app. We can't say too much how good the app is for cash.
Yeah.
Get your own club up, pull it up, scroll along, put your name on the list, get yourself to your casino. 7-handed screens at the side of everybody. It's as safe as you can, and you download the Poker Live app because it is absolute quality. Thanks to Mr. Kimber for joining us, and fingers crossed we can have a great big man up very, very soon.
Yeah, miss you, Phil. I'd love to.
Stay safe, and we will see you all again next Friday with more updates for the Summer Sizzler from the Tower and Mr. Jeff Kimber. Ta-ta.
Yeah.